Holy Star Wars, Batman! Apparently, Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron has now been delayed? What? Let's talk about that. It was nearly a year ago at the Disney Investor Day that we got the very first teaser for Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie, a movie that a lot of people were really excited for. This is one that was coming out, I should say, it was being announced right as Wonder Woman 84 was on the horizon, and that movie was hotly anticipated. Although we know how ultimately Wonder Woman 84 turned out. It turned out to be not great. In fact, a year later, that movie is now probably more despised than it was when it first came out for a litany of issues. And I was really curious with the fallout of Wonder Woman 84 if that was going to have any impact on the third film, which was announced immediately following its release. And of course, the upcoming Rogue Squadron film, and apparently the Cleopatra movie that Patty Jenkins wants to make, also with Gal Gadot. And that one even of itself has its own fair share of controversies. But today we're learning through Variety that Star Wars spin-off Rogue Squadron has been delayed due to Patty Jenkins' scheduling conflict. Now, this might be a nice way of talking about it. I know Mikey Sutton and I were discussing this a little bit ago, and he said he's going to look into it a little bit more, and maybe tonight on Hollywood After Dark, we'll have some more information. But this is what's coming into us from Brent Lang via Variety. So it's definitely not your mom and pop movie blog. This is one of the big boys, saying here that Rogue Squadron, the new Star Wars film from Patty Jenkins, will take a few detours before it reaches theaters. The film was scheduled to begin production in 2022, but that start date is not going to happen, which could also impact the film's targeted release date of December 22nd, 2023. Now, Rogue Squadron was the very first big screen outing of the space opera series since the Disney and Lucasfilm wrapped up the Skywalker trilogy, or I should say the Skywalker saga, the sequel trilogy, if I get my Star Wars news correct there. And of course, it goes on to talk a bit about what's going on with Disney Plus and the popularity of things over there. And right now, they're just saying that it's just because of conflict, scheduling conflict here. Well, here's the thing with this. The story was actually broke a couple days ago when it was rumored. It was heavily rumored and heavily speculated around on Twitter about whether or not Patty Jenkins was going to be continuing with the project. I myself am okay with her walking away. I know a lot of people out there love her. They love her work. They love what she did on Wonder Woman. They love what she did on maybe Wonder Woman 84. But I don't necessarily think at this point that she's maybe going to be the best choice for Star Wars. I don't quite know. There's just been a lot with her. I think that's, given everything that's happened with Star Wars in the last couple of years, maybe having a director that's not up to snuff is not going to be what the company needs right now. I say this after the whole situation with Phil Lord and Chris Miller on Solo were pulled after about 70% of that film had been shot. Gareth Edwards, who had originally shot Rogue One, arguably the best of the Disney Lucasfilm era, Tony Gilroy came in to oversee reshoots, to do the rewrites, and to bring the movie over the finish line, so much so that he's actually been the one who's been doing the Andor series. So we can see that obviously bringing in filmmakers that aren't necessarily attuned to this kind of big budget world are maybe not the right choice. Now, Patty Jenkins is definitely not that kind of person, but again, her first film, her first big movie was Monster back in the day, which did get Charlize Theron a Best Actress win at the Oscars, I believe. And then she followed that up with some TV show stuff and then doing Wonder Woman back in 2017. But that was, in many instances, people have said, co-directed or shadow directed by Zack Snyder, who was heavily involved in the production of it. It was his stunt team. He wrote the story and he executive produced the movie, and it was part of his vision. Wonder Woman 84 was devoid of all of that, and the movie suffered greatly as a result. Never mind the really odd story choice to have Wonder Woman effectively rape a guy, but hey, whatever. We've already beaten that argument to death. So maybe Patty Jenkins is not able to nail it right now. Through the grapevine, we're hearing that it's just they're not able to get to it in early 2022. They're supposed to go into production or pre-production by the end of this year. Then, of course, that's going to be changed to go into sometime into 2022. But what I'm hearing now, at least through the grapevine on Twitter, has everything to do with the fact that it's rumored that a KOTOR film is what's actually going to be taking that December 2023 date. Now, the reason why I think there might be some weight there has everything to do with the fact that they just re-released some of the Old Republic, the Star Wars Old Republic, the MMO from EA. Some of those trailers, those original featurettes that came out, those little visuals, have now been updated with a new 4K resolution. They've been remade. They look a lot better. We know that Knights of the Old Republic just came out on the Nintendo Switch, and we know that there is a Knights of the Old Republic remake that is currently going on, and they wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for the possibility of bringing it into the system, bringing it into the big screen. And there's been rumors about a KOTOR movie for years. It was rumored that when Dan and Dave from Game of Thrones were going to be coming in to do a multi-picture Star Wars deal, that they wanted to touch upon the Old Republic. It's something that a lot of people are really interested in, with the pushing of the High Republic, and the whole reasoning behind that publishing initiative is to get the franchise into China in order to be able to build up that fan base. It would make all the sense in the world that if you're going to continue the franchise on the big screen, following the sequel trilogy, following the Skywalker saga, your best course of action would be to go all the way back to the Old Republic and go back in time. Now, I would prefer them to go 200 years into the future and tell a story from that front, while giving us all the Disney Plus stuff that's going to be handling all the ancillary things from the, original trilogy leading into the sequel trilogy, and maybe even coming off of the prequel trilogy if you look at the Bad Batch. Give us all that there, that's great, but take us either far, 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 far into the future, or far, 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 far into the past. And I think that's where they're going to go with it. I think they're going to try to do something to tie into the High Republic. They're going to start with the Old Republic, move into the High Republic, and go from there. Rogue Squadron is a movie that I do want to see. I don't know if Patty Jenkins is going to be the one to do it. We're going to have to wait and see on this one. But obviously, at this point, it's being delayed indefinitely, which means it ain't coming December 2023. That could mean, the Old Republic. That could mean the Kevin Feige Star Wars movie written by Michael Waldron is actually closer along than we thought. And it could also mean that the Taika Waititi Star Wars project is further along than we thought. We don't quite know. But at this point, it seems that the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it seems that the success of Kevin Feige and people associated with him, those that are now effectively working their way into Star Wars, probably with the help of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy, obviously, shows us that there is a heavy Marvel influence that is moving into Lucasfilm. And I'm just going to say it. I think that's for the best. To be fair, I think it really is for the best. It's going to be cohesive. It's going to be coherent. It's going to have a through line of a story, and it's going to be something that I think fans are really going to get into. And so if that is going to be something that they're going to do with something like this, in order to kind of reset the theatrical movies, which is what I think they want to do, is to do a big reset after the Skywalker saga, then this would probably be your best way to go about it. But in the meantime, we're going to have to wait and see what's going on with this. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. Let me know down in the comments section. Be sure to check back tonight for another episode of Hollywood After Dark, my live stream. A lot of fun, a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about. And I'll see you guys later. Have yourself a great day.